I really like the new jerseys. They're clean. You can really tell the avenue that the team wanted to go, just really trying to simplify it down, bring in the roots of some of the older teams and some of the older looks, but then modernize it to an extent. And I think overall the initial reactions are good, and I'm excited to wear them.
I love it. It's definitely a little bit different, but I think it brings some pop.
You and Thad, how much time did you guys spend designing the jerseys and the new logos this year?
I spent almost no time on jerseys and logos. I had seen them along the way, and thankfully have gotten a chance to get a few items of clothing with them on them. But thankfully, that was not an area I had to spend a lot of time. They came out great. Let's go! Yeah, one of the things we're always trying to do is build more of a sustainable team and a team that can win every year. And you can add to your team and build for future seasons at different times of the year. In many ways, when we went into this past deadline, we were in a really good position at the top of our division, had a chance to add someone like Jorge Lopez, another pitcher like Tyler Mahle. Those two guys had future years of control, multiple seasons for Lopez and an additional year for Tyler. That was part of our 2023 plan in some ways. And as a result of that, going through each cycle, you can add and you can think about what that's going to do for your roster, not just now, but in the future. And fortunately, we've been able to do some things this offseason as well that only continue to supplement a roster that we hope will continue to compete for years to come.
Very happy to be here, very excited. Now we got new uniforms.
Christian Vasquez was someone early in the offseason that we targeted, that we said we needed to have a conversation with. And while we made no secret of the fact that Carlos Correa was a key priority for us, Christian was a clear key priority for us too.
They're very close to win a championship. That's very important for us, and I can help them a lot to behind the play and get a championship to this city, and I think that's the main goal for everybody.
That night, when he had his original agreement agreed to with San Francisco, I called him. We had a very heartfelt, emotional conversation. And it was something that in that moment I knew his heart was here in Minnesota. There was still a part of him. He knew he could move on, and he's a pro, and he understood how to grow and develop somewhere else. But his heart was here.
So for me, like Derek said, my heart being here, the whole time I was talking to Hopkins, who's our hitting coach. I was talking to the players. I was always involved with everything and how we can make each other better, even though I was not formally part of the Twins at the time. But yeah, the goal is simple: is to win championships, and that's what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, Carlos was one of the best teammates I've ever had, just from a clubhouse president and leadership standpoint. He was such an impactful player. And really leaned into us young guys.
I've said this before, but I don't think there's anyone else in Major League Baseball that is as valuable to a team as he is. And that goes off the field as well. In the clubhouse, he's one of the best leaders that I've been around.
He knows what winning baseball looks like. So he's a talented player on the field, but brings a lot of intangibles.
When I look at this roster, last year we were in first place for over 100 games, and then the injury bug got us a little bit. But my expectations for this team are very high this year. The players know it. I talk to Byron Buxton pretty much every single day throughout the whole process. I talk to Miranda every single week, Nick Gordon. I mean, you name it, all the players. In fact, when the news that I was coming to Minnesota again broke out, every single player in the roster texted me. And that means the world to me, because to earn my teammates' respect in such a short amount of time and their love, for me, that's just what it's all about, right?
To get something as impactful as what Pablo brings to our team, you have to give something impactful, and that's what made this hard. It makes a trade sometimes that works on both sides, potentially a need for position player side. I don't want to speak for Kim and the Marlins, but I think the fact that they were zeroing in on Louis really from the get-go, and we had always been zeroing in on Pablo, it just made sense.
Now that it's, super official, I'm incredibly excited to be a part of an organization like the Minnesota Twins. Every Venezuelan kid grew up a Johan Santana fan, and Johan Santana had, the time of his career as a Minnesota Twin. So I have vivid memories of watching him in my TV when I was little with the Twins uniform. So I'm just incredibly excited to be a part of this group, as bittersweet as it is to, leave the organization that gave me the opportunity to perform at the big league level. I am very, very excited to be a part and be a Minnesota Twin.
We're at my core my job title is my job title. At my core, I'm a baseball fan. I only got into this because I love the game. I think about it all the time. I've never worked and done anything else in my life, it feels like. So I love this game. And the one thing I love about it is the purity of watching good young athletes take the field and do things that you don't get to see every day. That when you come to Target Field for 81 games and hopefully a lot of postseason games beyond that, that you get a chance to go look and see something that not many people on the planet can do. Those two players, both Byron and Carlos, among a host of others that we have that are young players, can do things on the baseball field that you won't see anywhere else. And this is the place to be to watch it. And I know that I get a front row seat to that, thank goodness, and every day I get to work and see it. And I don't take it for granted, because these are the types of athletes and exciting young talent that hopefully is going to inspire all generations of fans. It's just the way they go about playing the game, how hard they work, the effort on the field, but what they do when they step on a baseball field is special. So come watch them play.
I'm excited to win some ball games. That's what I'm excited to do. I think we're going to have a great team.
But I think we have the team, we have the staff, we have the offense to really compete with anybody in the league. I truly believe that.
The main goal is to win. And by winning, I don't mean making the playoffs. By winning, I mean winning championships. And I think with the core group that we have and the right guidance and the right work ethic and the right atmosphere in the clubhouse, we can accomplish those things.